Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the HitchHiking Host Show. I am your ghost host, Wes Troop, and we've got a lot to cover on this week's show, dealing with Disney Cruise Lines and also some stuff going around in the parks. So, let's kick it off with our weekly park roundup. First up, Disneyland. Live with Kelly and Michael will broadcast live from Disneyland May 18th to the 22nd. They will feature guests such as The Rock, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I suppose I should call him, Mariah Carey, Jimmy Kimmel, and more to promote the 60th anniversary celebration. And they arrive one day after I leave, just like most things on my Disney trips. Always book it a week or two too soon. Also, speaking of that, you know, it's another week, it's another dining package here on the HitchHiking Host Show. A special World of Color dining package has been added to Disney's California Adventure for the 24-hour Diamond Celebration kickoff event on May 22nd to the 23rd. You'll be able to choose from Ariel's Grotto and Wine Country Trattoria. They will feature special 2-course prix-fixe breakfast menus from 12 a.m. to 1:45 a.m. on May 23rd, with reserved viewing for a special 3 a.m. showing of World Color. Yeah, so if you're up that early, check that out. World of Color lunch and dinner packages with reserved seating for the 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. shows on May 22nd are available at Carthy Circle Restaurant and Golden Vine Winery and will feature regular menu items. For reservations and prices, because I'm sure it's going to cost a bundle for those Carthy Circle Restaurant ones, visit Disneyland.com/dine or call 714-781-DINE. Yes, I would not be partaking in those. My dining packages might be at the old Chinese place there, the old food court, or the Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta might be where I'd be going. But you know, it sounds pretty cool. I'm sure World of Color will be packed. It's packed every night, so especially for the new show, because that's the first time we're going to see the new Neil Patrick Harris show. So, if you're interested in heading up one of those restaurants and you want some good reserved seating for World of Color for that extravaganza kickoff show, be sure to check those out. Now heading over to Walt Disney World, a new dance party is headed to Typhoon Lagoon. You heard that right. Typhoon Lagoon is actually getting something, peeps. You can catch the Teen Beach 2 Beach Party. I see too many beaches. There's too many beaches up in this joint. From May 22nd to July 5th, various times a day. Because I'm sure you'll want to see it more than once, because it'll be that good. The fun will include surfers and bikers. I'm assuming bikers as in skater dudes, not as in Hell's Angels, but you never know. Dancing and playing beach-themed games with guests. Teen Beach 2 can be seen on the Disney Channel this summer. I'll be sure not to watch it. So, if that sounds cool to you, I think it's good that they're bringing something new to Typhoon Lagoon. I haven't been there in, a decade. 2005 was the last time I was at Typhoon Lagoon. And I swam with some sharks and sharted my pants at the same time. Yeah. Something good at Typhoon Lagoon. That sounds good to me. Now, speaking of getting wet, this is a PG-13 show today, people. New experiences are coming to Disney, the Disney Dream, which is part of the Disney Cruise Lines, of course, this fall, including 2 new interactive youth areas. In Disney's Oceaneer Club, kids can find a Star Wars Millennium Falcon play area. I just want to say something. Why do all the kids get this stuff? I would want to check out this Millennium Falcon area, but I'd look like a Chester if it's just for kids, then I'd be taking pictures. These stupid brats. Anyway, the kids will join the Rebel Alliance in the epic battle of good versus evil by assisting with the navigation of the vehicle. Sitting in the cockpit, children can pilot this super cool spaceship through hyperspace and trigger lightspeed jumps to different locations around the galaxy. I hate these children. There will be Star Wars themed crafts, games, and activities in this space as well. Plus, kids can catch episodes from the new Disney XD animated series Star Wars Rebels on a large screen, or virtually join the rebellion at gaming stations featuring the series' action-packed adventures. The excitement continues during a shipboard version of the popular Jedi Training Academy that invites young Jedi hopefuls, known as Padawans of course, to learn lightsaber moves from a Jedi Master. They can then use the Force and face off in a final test against the evil Darth Vader. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be so jealous they can face off against the evil West Troop if I ever go on that ship. Alright, Disney Infinity Toy Box, also coming to the Oceaneer Club. A high-tech interactive space based on the Disney Infinity video game offers more fun for kids. The complete set of Disney Infinity character figures will be on display for creative inspiration and available for gameplay. Kids visiting this special room, found only on the Disney Dream Ship, will be able to unlock exclusive Disney Cruise Line content that can continue to enjoy when playing Disney Infinity at home. Of course they can, because that says, Mom and Dad, I want to go on a ship to play video games. Special activities will bring the virtual gameplay experience to life in the real world. A life-size Disney Infinity base sets the stage where children take the place of the character for a group gaming experience unlike any other. Lighting up in response to gameplay on a large screen, the interactive floor will allow kids to be immersed in the toy box. Vanellope sweets and treats. Handmade gelato and ice cream, an assortment of candy and delectable novelty treats are some of the deliciousness available for purchase at Vanellope's Sweets and Treats. Resembling the whimsical Candyland of the Sugar Rush race car game in Wreck-It Ralph, the Sweet Shop's decor features nods to the film, including a racetrack and checkerboard patterned floor, gas pump style gumball dispensers, Vanellope's race car, and King Candy's throne. This special store coming to Deck 11 will have two entrances, inside Cabana's restaurant and outside by the pool deck. Finally, something I could actually see if I would go on a Disney cruise. Well, not so much this one. The Bippity Boppity Boutique is coming to Deck 5 midship. This very special salon will offer aspiring princesses and knights ages 3 to 12 the chance to transform into royalty with the help of a fairy godmother in training, the FGIT. Oh, yeah. On Pirate Party Night, this boutique becomes the Pirate League, where swashbuckling pirates of all ages will have the opportunity to unleash their inner buccaneer. I unleash my inner buccaneer all the time. Also, Satellite Falls, exclusively for adults, finally! Deck 13 Forward will include a new water feature, Satellite Falls, a circular splash pool with benches and gently falling rain curtain that provides cool comfort. Around this upper deck, adults can soak up the sun, like Sheryl Crow, in lounges or relax in the shade under a canopy. Swimsuits are expected, I assume. Oh well. I have to go on naked dating. This wave of enhancements to the Disney Dream debuts on October 26th, their 4-night voyage from Port Canaveral following the ship's dry dock, October 4th to the 24th, 2015, in Freeport, Bahamas. I've never been on a Disney cruise, but evidently the kids will have fun. I don't know how much fun the adults will have that want to partake in some of these activities. And also, if it's a family vacation, why are you shipping your kids off all the time? I don't get that. But anyway, I'm sure there's enough stuff for adults to do as well, if you would look up the stuff on the ship. Oh, and we have more stuff on the ship. I'm not drawing this one to a close yet. Anna, Elsa, and Olaf will be joining the cast of the musical Disney Dreams, an enchanted classic, on the Disney Magic ship. The new scenes will be added to the show this summer. Yes, even more reason to go. For you Frozen fans out there, the few of us that are left, because everyone else has turned on us. But Yeah, I'd be interested in hit up a Disney cruise sometime. Sounds like fun. And now, if you're a fan of the Fort Wilderness Resort or the Hoop-Dee-Doo review, there are new limited time t-shirts you might be interested in. The shirts are available from April 27th to May 3rd and cost $27.95 plus shipping. Well, that price has gone up from the last few limited edition shirts I've gotten. It was $24.95. Well, you know, because Fort Wilderness and Hoop-Dee-Doo are a lot cooler than the Country Beer Jamboree, I suppose. That's what I say about that. But, yeah, so if you're a fan of those, either of those, definitely check out those limited time t-shirts. I will have to pass on those and save my money for a better shirt in Disneyland. So a lot of cool stuff going down this week. This week, the main topic of discussion is going to be a show you may remember. If you haven't been to the parks before 2002, you may have heard of it, but you've never seen it. This is what was one of my favorite shows as a kid, The Legend of the Lion King.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise for you.
Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Oh, I just can't wait to be king.
Yes, there will be a king.
Hey, what you say?
I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again.
When Disney was completing their new film, The Lion King, they knew they wanted to bring it to the parks in some capacity. They decided on creating a stage show. Imagineers called upon stage director Fran Soder, who had been a consultant on the Voyage of the Little Mermaid show at the then called Disney MGM Studios. The show had been successful with its use of both live actors and puppets. Disney knew they wanted to replicate that with their new show, however the puppets would be on an even bigger scale. Chuck Fawcett, who designed the puppets for Voyage of the Little Mermaid, also created the puppets for this show. The puppets were called Disney Humanimals, described as larger-than-life figures of their animated counterparts. Each Humanimal took 2 to 8 people to operate, depending on the size. Certain puppets were worn by the puppeteers on their back like a backpack, while some were on wagons that required the puppeteers to ride it. Not like riding a horse, riding the wagon. So see some cast member bucking on Mufasa. Speaking of Mufasa, his Humanimal was 7 feet long and 6 feet tall. There would also be a costumed Rafiki who would greet guests for a pre-show. Rehearsals for the show began on May 15th, 1994, which was my birthday, by the way. How old was I? I was 7 when that came out. There you go, peeps. Just a month before the film's release. There were 8 different casts of 10 people that performed the show around 30 times a day. The stage for the show was 125 feet wide, actually bigger than the 500-seat area for the audience because of the giant sets. Legend of the Lion King was sponsored by Kodak and replaced the 3D show Magic Journeys. Are they real? Yeah, that will be anticipation for that episode. I can't wait. The show officially opened on July 8th, 1994, and the Fantasyland Theater in Fantasyland at the Magic Kingdom with a vine-cutting ceremony featuring Ernie Sabella and Robert Guillaume, who of course voiced Pumbaa and Rafiki. When guests entered the theater, they were brought into the holding room, where big portraits of scenes from the film were hung. They were then ushered into the pre-show room, where the live-action Rafiki welcomed everyone to the show. The character's mouth moved right along with the soundtrack. Rafiki began the tale of Simba as the Circle of Life segment from the film played on the big screen. The audience then entered the main theater for the show. It began with the humanimals of Mufasa and a young Simba perched on Pride Rock discussing his future and that he'll always be there to guide his son. After this was a performance of I Just Can't Wait to Be King, with young Simba, young Nala, and Zazu puppets. Rafiki returned as narrator, as we were introduced to Simba's evil uncle Scar and his friends the hyenas, Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed at the Elephant Graveyard. A segment from Be Prepared was then performed and the audience heard Scar's plan unraveling. In case you've actually never seen the movie The Lion King, which if you haven't, sin! After this, the stampede scene is shown on a screen above the stage, and of course the sad death of Mufasa, where Simba runs away, is reenacted by the puppets. Things lighten up when Timon and Pumbaa come onto the stage and meet Simba. They croon the crowd with their favorite, Hakuna Matata! What a wonderful phrase! We also saw the adult Simba humanimal for the first time. This led into a reenactment of Can You Feel the Love Tonight with an adult Nala puppet. Which was family friendly, by the way. Yeah, they basically just cuddled. They spooned. After that was the scene where Rafiki and Simba have a chat and Mufasa gives his son guidance as a vision in the stars. A compilation of the final fight between Simba and Scar was then shown on the screen, followed by a victorious roaring Simba on the top of Pride Rock. The Rafiki figure, along with Nala and Simba, had the ceremony for their new baby cub, while the Circle of Life reprise played to close the show. The Legend of the Lion King remained a hit until it closed on February 3rd, 2002, to make way for Mickey's PhilharMagic, which currently occupies the Fantasyland Theater. As a tribute of sorts to the show, I guess you could say, there is an I Just Can't Wait to Be King segment in the 3D film. Fans of The Lion King can, of course, still find a wonderful stage show at Disney's Animal Kingdom called the Festival of the Lion King. And if you've never seen that show, I suggest you check that out. Yes, Legend of the Lion King. Well, I saw it every time I went to Disney World until it closed, which would have been 4 trips. And I loved it as a kid. I remember that was one of my favorite things because The Lion King was and still is my favorite Disney movie. I know, everyone's saying, oh, everybody loves Lion King. Well, there's a reason everybody loves Lion King. It's not just the cool thing to do. People actually do love this movie. I'm not just saying it to be trendy, because 21-year-old trend here, people. I was a kid of the 90s. Of course I friggin' loved The Lion King. Just everything about that film is great. We'll do a Lion King themed episode one of these days, and of course we'll do a Festival of the Lion King episode too. So there's lots of Lion King things to come here on HitchHiking Host Show if you guys love the Lion King. So make sure you check them out. Not for a little while, of course, as we're doing this, but upcoming in the next years. But Legend of the Lion King show, I absolutely loved it. Loved the idea of these lifelike puppets, you could say. They're huge. There is a video, which is very interesting, which I watched last night before I recorded this, that takes you into the pit. Look for it on YouTube under Legend of the Lion King. And you can actually see the puppeteers working the puppets. and it's really interesting. And if you're a fan of this show, definitely check that out. It's funny because I actually got to see some of the puppets behind the scenes. We had a free breakfast at Disney's Hollywood Studios one morning when I went with Boss Cubs Travel. They gave us a free breakfast at somewhere. It was called the Prop Shop. It was over near the Backlot Tour area, and then we rode Toy Story Mania twice in a row. And much to the chagrin of a lot of fans in line. But we actually got to walk through the park with no one there. We followed a guy with a lightsaber. Not literally, unfortunately. They really should do that since they have Star Wars and all that, whatnot there. But, and then we aimed in this prop room, and they had props of pretty much all random stuff. But the thing that caught my eye was the Legend of the Lion King puppets. They had the 3 hyenas, they had Scar, and they had the dead Mufasa. And I was just like, holy crap. I literally almost crapped my pants when I saw those, because they're awesome. But yeah, this is something for any Disney fan who went during the 90s, early 2000s. This is something they'll remember. I like Mickey's PhilharMagic, so I'm not angry at that for replacing this, because that's cool too. And they do have the Festival of the Lion King show, so this is one I sort of understand that they would replace. But it's fun to look back on the fond memories of this show. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Next week, I will be back with a special Avengers Age of Ultron show, where we're going to talk, obviously, the movie and more. Some history and whatnot. So, yeah, should be cool. Also, if you are going to be in Disneyland from May 10th to the 17th, keep a lookout for this guy. I will be there Sunday to Sunday, in the parks Monday to Saturday. So definitely keep a lookout. I'll be updating the Instagram and Twitter and all that in the morning. So keep a lookout for that. Follow me at Wes A List to get all the stuff. But I will also be competing in the first ever HitchHiking Host Show Disneyland Challenge. That's right. One of the days of my vacation, I will be headed out there and for this challenge that I designed. You're more than welcome to take it. Contact me if you want to take this. It's a combination of rides and attractions from both parks, both Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure, in a one-day challenge. I believe there's 47 attractions. I may up it to 50 just to have it be 50. And you can see what your score will be if you can ride all the attractions. And I do even had some bonus attractions on there that I didn't want to force myself to do, or anyone who might decide to take the challenge. So, we'll see how it goes. And I'll let you know if I survive or not. So, that will be... I will have a special episode. That will be a longer episode one week of just that. It won't be a 24-hour episode, but it will be a longer episode. Like a little mini Hitchhiking Host movie, if you will. Ooh. So, until next time, oh, by the way, 12 days till my vacation countdown. So that's awesome. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to the show. YouTube.com/HitchHostShow. You can like the show on Facebook. Facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Follow the Twitter at HitchHostShow and the Instagram at HitchHostShow. Do you see a pattern? I know I do. Until next time, don't forget to...
Hurry back
for the next episode. See ya.